This is State of Michigan versus Kiera McPhail, case 24058700801. Today is the date set for a redetermination hearing. Appearances, please.
Thank you, Judge. Steve Vincent for the people.
Jessica Scheib on behalf of Ms. McPhail. Ma'am, state your name for the record.
Kiera McPhail.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. McPhail. Today is the date set for the redetermination hearing. Bond is set intentionally unaffordable in this matter. Ms. Scheib as to bond.
Your Honor, as to bond, there's a lot going on in this report. My client is 21 years old. To my knowledge, she's never been in trouble before, not on probation or parole, nothing pending, is employed at Amazon. Your Honor, she is a lifelong resident of Michigan. She lives with her parents. She has a job, community ties, family ties, and no priors to my knowledge. Now, she's charged with 12 counts here, Your Honor, and this is an individual with no trouble whatsoever that we are aware of. Now, we know what the report says, and then what my client says is same but different on another side. Your Honor, it's the opposite. It's our understanding that the complaining witness, Brooklyn, is the ex-girlfriend of my client's now boyfriend, and that she got my client's number, that she has been threatening her, texting her, calling her, telling them, we're going to do this and that to you, allegedly, that my client has these text messages and all of these threats, and they tell them we're CPL holders and we're valid CPL holders and all of that, and making threats with weapons. Now, Your Honor, my client was arrested at the hospital because she was at the hospital with her boyfriend, who got shot in the back by these complaining witnesses while they were in their vehicle. So they're in the vehicle and they get shot at by the complaining witnesses, and her boyfriend ends up in the hospital because he got shot in the back by these complaining witnesses while they are in their car. And the car has the bullet holes in them, Your Honor, because they were shot at. Now, my client says my client's boyfriend says in the report, the one that was shot, that he is pretty sure that my client never shot her firearm, never shot at anybody. That's what he says. Now, I know the people tried to argue that, he changes his story in the hospital at arraignment. However, this is a person who's in temporary critical condition while there, and the officers come speak to him while there. So, Your Honor, we don't know what medication he was under. We don't know what state he was in, one way or another, Your Honor. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a very high personal bond, absolutely no contact with any of these individuals. If the court is not inclined to do this without a tether, given the charges and the nature of the charges, then we understand. However, I know that tether is going to hold her up and for sure lose her job, but I know the court has to make a decision. Although these are allegations, she is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. So respectfully asking the court to consider that bond, I would ask without a tether, but if it has to be with a tether, then we understand, because any monetary bond is going to be unaffordable to her, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Scheib. Mr. Vincent Esteban.
Judge, first and foremost, I think we have to look at where these incident allegedly took place. For allegedly the complaining witnesses who were threatening, the defendants here. Ironically, this happened at the complaining witnesses' residence. They weren't seeking anything out. Judge, additionally, we have 3 people, as you can see, who all have the same story, same corroborating story. Then, just like defense counsel had said, we have a defendant who ended up changing his story once, and I think this is very pertinent, when the police officers asked, would you like to change your story? And then he does. Judge, and then we have the neighbors who, see these people driving up and down the road, honking their horn. We have a father who ended up shooting back at a car after this complainant allegedly got out of her car, fired a shot, and then pointed a gun at a house. Thankfully, We have that father who was a CPL holder that ended up preventing anything else from happening. And, you know, Judge, sometimes when you play with fire, you get burnt. And the defendant in this matter, or I don't know if he's a defendant because I don't know if he's been arraigned, but the other individual that this defendant was with, he's already on probation right now for a CCW. He knew he shouldn't have had that. He knew he shouldn't have had that gun in the first place because he was on probation for a firearms offense. So respectfully, Judge, we find, and it just happened. This just happened. This happened, you know, less than a week ago. So respectfully, Judge, we think it's a, you know, a hot and ongoing issue. Respectfully, we're asking you to continue this fund.
All right, having had a chance to review the investigator's report, I believe that there is clear and convincing evidence to set an intentionally unaffordable bond in this matter. Allegations allege that the defendant was in front of somebody's house, waving a gun, pointing a gun, and at least the investigator report indicates that one round was at least fired by the defendant. It's a different story if this is somewhere else or this is a neutral location, but this is in front of the complaining witness's house, the complaining witnesses, excuse me. These are allegations. I don't know the full story, but in this matter, bond is going to remain the same. Potentially unaffordable. Ms. McPhail, your next date is going to be August 15th, 2024, before Judge Jefferson. The original conditions of the bond apply. That concludes the hearing.